and ready to go. So I got some new exclamation points to look at here. Something I want to point out, very important, MP safety. Now, MP safety here is going to be replacing a certain setting that existed back when MP charge was first introduced. And that setting allowed you to prevent your regular... write these down. It prevented your regular magic casts to override the fact that your cure magic could be cast with any amount of leftover mana. So I'm going to replace my potion here with cure, and I'm going to start my shortcut set C here with the potion, just so I can whip it out when absolutely necessary. But I don't need shortcut C yet. So now, yeah, that setting wasn't exactly very straightforward, and it had a lot to do with what I was trying to emphasize in my first few videos with getting rid of the exclamation points is not the only way to find things out, but it's a great way to see what's going on as you go through the game. And now, this was also what I was talking about with the treasures, is that you can see how well you're doing with treasures, and I got quite a bit of the treasures for Olympus, even though I know I missed one in that last video. I watched myself miss it as I was editing it, and I was like, oh, I have to go back and get it now, because I know it's there, and it's going to drive me bananas. So now, those are things that...
If I remember right, the old mansion's out past the woods.
Okay. Thank you for cutting me off, Goofy. Alright, so I remember that those things were...
But the music sure is pretty.
Really up to the player to figure out. It wasn't... they kind of tried to explain how MP charge worked and how important it was. When you run out of MP, you're going to go into MP charge. And what that basically means is that MP charge is that nice way of getting past the fact that in Kingdom Hearts 1, recovering your MP was a matter of charging up each individual unit by getting combos, by picking up MP orbs, and things like that. And now, they've turned that into, instead of trying to build up your magic bar, you're trying to fill up your form changes and everything like that. Hold on, let me get this hard-to-reach lucky emblem here. Oh, I can't selfie it? Alright, I'll just get one with Goofy and Donald, because they're down there. Or just Goofy. Thanks for facing towards the camera, at least.
Sora.
And,
Sora.
it's a cool thing that they did where you could customize whether or not you want your fire spells to even...
Ready to check out the old mansion?
Goofy, you gotta just shut up, please. I cannot think if you're talking over me. So... here's the thing. If you want to just be throwing magic out there and not really worry about whether or not you have that backup cure spell ready to go, then by all means, don't turn on that ability. But if you really look at what that ability says, it's very straightforward, and I'm going to show you how it works in just a second here after I finish my first little scan here. They'll make me go back through here eventually anyway, so I'm not going to try too hard. Like, I'm going to have to turn down the volume in my ears so that when they are trying to talk to me, they're not just cutting me off while I'm trying to talk to you. Incredibly obnoxious. Alright, so here's where I'm going to be. Are they going to let me cast my spells now? Yeah, So, look, if I empty out my mana bar here...
Fire! Blaze!
Now I can't cast my fire and my water. And now, if you activate that ability, that's what's going to happen. It's going to stop you before you kill out your magic. And it says that clearly. And only link commands are the only other thing that can activate that recharge. And, I mean, link commands take up your whole MP bar. So I hope they activate that recharge. Jeez. You would think that if it didn't, it would make things extremely difficult. And tedious. Tedious is... not good in games like this. So let me just get rid of the rest of those exclamation points. Just lots of stuff in the gummy phone that I don't need distracting me. Yep. And that's really all I'm going to try to explain there, because this part of the game is going to be of a very big progression sequence, and I'm going to try to go through quickly, but I'm also going to make sure that I don't miss important things that I'd like to cover. So I know I said I'm going to try to make the videos short, but I guess that's kind of counterproductive if I'm just going to be recording huge chunks at a time. So I'm really going to just make watching the video not short, but easy to just, you know, you pause when you get to a part where you don't want to miss or anything like that. And I'll make sure to put timestamps. I noticed that using timestamps to jump to important parts of videos is a very good way to do things. So when I finally get to the point where I'm doing very specific things and showing you how to do specific things that I'm trying to explain, I'll leave timestamps for that, so that you're not just sifting through an hour's worth of video trying to find me explain how MP charge works, you know? I know it's right in the video there, right in the beginning of the video there, but it's just an example that I'm trying to use. And now, like, if you really take a moment to appreciate this little area here, is they really emphasize that when Sora was here his first time, he really took to the underground and really didn't...
Let's see.
Here's another one of those lucky emblems, by the way. I'm just doing these from memory at the moment. Can I get them in the picture? What if I selfie it? I want to get you in the picture, man. Alright, well, it's just me. Cheese! So now think about the difference of how old Sora is, right? And what's going on in the world around him anyway. I also just knew that was there too, so just ignore the fact that I'm doing some of these lucky emblems from memory, because that's the way it's going to be. Now look at how Sora is starting to see the world. Just think about that as we go on, as we move forward.
Huh? Hmm?
What's that?
Oh. Heartless!
What do you think they're up to?
Look! On that branch! The Heartless have him surrounded!
Oh no!
This chair makes a lot of noise. I am switching my chairs before that starts to become a consistent problem. Pause! Sorry. Ah! There we go. So, Power Wilds. Look at these guys. They have been in quite a few of the Kingdom Hearts games so far, and they were definitely in the first game, which is why I like them so much as enemies, because in the first game they were daunting. They were able to use the game's parrying as a sort of offensive attack instead of, you know. Alright, so in the first game you didn't even get block right away. You had to unlock the block ability, and so the only way to prevent attacks from even hitting you in the first place was
Gosh, they're not making it easy.
attacking at the same time. And when you attacked at the same time, when two attacks collided at the same time, they were able to cancel each other out. And Sora usually took advantage of that canceling as a parry. So you could send projectiles back at the casters, and you could send the claws. You could prevent the monkeys from going into combos. Like he just used a combo on me there. And oh boy, did they dumb down the Power Wilds. I think these are called Power Wilds anyway. I'm just calling them a name at this point, but they really dumbed down the Power Wilds, and I'm upset about that part. But it's not really because they're not the same Heartless anymore. It's really because their tactics are not as mean as they once were. Like, these guys were just plain old mean. They fought dirty, they would hop up behind you and try to, like, gang up with, like, 2 or 3 other monkeys and just combo you to death. It was no fun. No fun. So now, I mean, we can just whip out blocks, we can just aerial recovery when we get to a higher level.
Well,
I mean,
take care.
Combat has definitely evolved. And taking advantage of all of the things that Sora has learned how to do as he has grown is something that this game tries to emphasize as you level up.
Oh, what is...
So,
Whoa,
just remember that.
whoa.
Looky, that little feller's parked on your head.
Huh? Would you cut that? Whoa. Huh?
You know, maybe he wants you to pick up the fruit for him.
Okay, that's fine, but I can do it by myself.
Yo, I feel that, Sora.
I just need to collect the fruit? Right then.
Okay, fine, I'll get fruit, but let me do it, man. Don't
So, what are you gonna do with all this
control
anyway?
me.
Huh?
Oh,
Well, okay. You be careful going home.
see you around.
So now I feel
Next
really
stop,
bad
the
for
mansion.
Remy because, man, that little rat works hard and he gets no credit. Nobody even knows that he's a shit. Except for us, I mean, now we get credit. But like, alright, in the movie that he is from, Ratatouille, the guy that he winds up controlling, like he just controlled Sora there, the guy that he winds up controlling gets all the fame. And yeah, he appreciates Remy for who he is, but Remy never actually gets noticed until the end of the movie and all that stuff, where it's like, oh no, a rat is making food, what? Yeah, it's a Disney movie, let it happen. So, it's a cute little story. I liked Ratatouille when it first came out, when I first watched it. It's a good movie, good morals. And adding him into this game, I was so excited when I heard about Remy being in this game, that there was cuisine. I'm thinking, alright, temporary buffs. This is gonna be like Monster Hunter cuisine. Like, you go out and maximize your stats with the right meal so that you don't have to oh man. Oh man. Give me the mushroom. You don't have to worry about doing it in the missions. And now, the way they do the cuisine in this game is that from save stations, you're able to go to the bistro and make food for yourself. And then whenever you make the food, you're able to then have it in your inventory, and you can eat it whenever. You can eat it from your inventory whenever you want. You just go into your start menu, and there it is. There's even a whole thing where you can set up a full course meal, and you get bonuses for having the full course. Shot fire at the Fire Heartless, and now he's more powerful. That's okay. Here's the sad part. I mentioned the cuisine in my first videos, and I mentioned that if you really wanted to, you can boost your stats with it. But, I never really saw the need to. I never really felt like, oh man, I am so underpowered right now, but I just want to kill this boss. I'm just gonna go for it. Now, there was a moment where I was like, oh, I just died from this boss, and it was the first time I had died at all in the game against a boss, so I was like, oh no. Buffed myself up. I feel like the buff barely made a difference. So I'll touch back on that in a moment, after these next few cutscenes, because I'm gonna want to actually make an attempt to... I'm gonna want to make an attempt to focus on some key story elements here that they point out. And before I go towards that door and trigger the cutscene, I'm gonna want to look for... Hey, look, a chest in the corner. They taunt me with it. Yeah, I can open it! Yay! AP boost. Good. That's a good thing to get. Such a cool moment. Really subtle. But such a powerful moment.
What do you think, guys? This place is even creepier than I remember.
Well, they do say that this mansion is haunted.
Hey there!
Yo, I've had the same exact thing happen to me before.
What? Did I scare you?
I've literally almost socked people in the face.
So how did it go? Did you get any leads?
Nope, afraid not. The asking around thing was a total bust.
Yep. This old mansion is our last hope.
You guys ready?
Another Twilight town awaits.
Yeah.
By the way, the whole Data Twilight Town thing was explained to Hayner, Pence, and Olette in Kingdom Hearts 2, so that is why they are perfectly okay with all of the weird stuff. They are filled in. They actually accept some of the weirdness better than Sora and Riku do.
Here we go. The password was, sea salt ice cream, right? Okay, I'm in. Let's get that transporter working. Oh man, the transporter's been protected.
Protected from what?
I guess from us? We can't use it to get to the other Twilight Town.
Why not? It worked before. We sent Sora there.
Well, that...
Yeah, but a group of kids, a group of children, right, are able to just waltz into this house, right? Of course the computer's been security locked. This house is completely unprotected. And, for that matter, the person that was using this house as the safe point is gone. He's not there anymore. So he's not even able to use this computer anymore. He has locked it. Makes perfect sense.
That was then, and this is now.
And there's no other way?
None that I know.
Great. Huh?
Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da.
Hello, Sora. You wouldn't happen to be in front of a computer.
Huh? Well, yeah, but how'd you know that?
I was tinkering with Ansom's
Technology.
computer, you know, to decrypt the code that was left in it. And I noticed that someone had logged in from another terminal. I figured it might be you.
Oh, yeah, the log terminal.
You don't know any slug.
Oh, and what? You do?
I know I haven't got a clue.
Then, who was it that logged in?
Oh, hi there. This is Pence. I'm the one who logged into the computer.
Good. As long as it's a user that we know we can trust.
Yup. But I'm kind of stuck here. One of the programs is protected, so I can't run it.
Which program?
The transporter to the other Twilight Town. It's the only way to find Roxas. You gotta help us.
Another Twilight Town? And a transporter? Okay. A virtual town inside the computer made of data.
A datascape, fellas. We've seen one. That's what we used once to investigate Jiminy's journal.
Maybe I can do something.
Pence, let's get a network set up. My address here is...
Technological jargon. Clicky clacky mumbo jumbo. Sora falls asleep.
Okay,
This
sharing is
is
enabled.
funny.
Huh? Were you able to fix it?
Now that our two computers have been successfully networked together, I can take control of the terminal there and change the privileges.
And Roxas?
Yes. For the virtual world to be completely realized, Ansem the Wise
would have included Roxas's full data in the construction, meaning somewhere on your machine there's a log of that data that, basically, we can decipher Ansem's code more quickly, and we can analyze the virtual Twilight Town while we're at it.
Okay, great. I can't computer, so do
I
that.
can't computer. So do
Glad
that.
you're following along. Don't worry, we'll handle it.
Chip and Dale will be helping me out here on this end. I'll call you back as soon as we know anything more.
Thanks.
Oh, before I forget, a bit of troubling news.
It's about one of the organization's former members. You knew him as Vexen. But to us, he was Ansom's apprentice, Evan. He was recompleted like the rest of us.
But hadn't regained consciousness yet. Then, sometime after Lee left, Evan vanished.
Alias and Dylan, the two you knew as Lexius and Zaldin, they went out looking for him, but he's just gone. And I'm starting to worry.
Oh?
You think he's on their side?
I think it's a real possibility.
Uh-oh.
He's a devious researcher. You should be careful.
All right. Thanks.
Oh no! We got work! I totally forgot!
Really? But what about all this?
Hey, both are important. We're gonna need some cash to go to the beach. Also, don't forget the pretzels. Gotta buy 4 now.
Oh, I get it.
He's thinking ahead.
Later, Sora.
Yeah. See ya, Hayner.
Bye, Donald. Goofy.
Goodbye!
Oh, and since I'm manning the computer here, you guys are in charge of earning my share.
No pretzel for Pence.
Hey!
Seriously, if it wasn't for Pence, Sora would be completely lost there. It's a good thing he makes friends where he makes friends, 'cause oh boy, does he need their help. So think about what just happened there too.
So, what's next?
Okay. This is unprecedented in Kingdom Hearts timeline, right? Sora has never been able to just receive information like that. You know, it has always been this like, oh no, what do we do now? And then he's just like running into this unknown territory. Whereas now,
So, you think you can bring Roxas back?
he's got a lot of help.
Ansem! Xemnas!
Roxas should never have existed in the first place. What you seek is impossible.
Roxas does exist. His heart's inside my heart.
And in the unlikely event you did manage to separate the two, where is it you think you can put his heart?
Well, Roxas used to live in the other Twilight town, right? So, I'm just gonna put him back there.
Do you even realize what you are saying? The other Twilight town is just data.
A heart can live anywhere, even inside data. There are hearts all around us.
Ansem and Xemnas used to be part of the same person, right? But look, now they exist separately just fine. If they can do it, then I don't see any reason why you and Roxas can't find a way.
Oh, yeah!
Roxas, Goofy just figured that out faster than the entire Kingdom Hearts series
In that
and community
case, by
has
all
been able to
means,
figure things out.
Nothing would please us more than Roxas's return.
Even
Of
faster than
course.
Xemnas could figure that
You
out.
wish! He'll never answer to you again.
Still so blind. A nobody is what's left behind when one gives his heart to darkness. There is only one way to bring Roxas back, which is for you to give your heart up as well. Sora, have you finally decided to call upon the darkness?
Ooh, that good old
What?
temptation trick again.
Go on then. The shadows are never out of reach. Now, set your heart free.
Wait!
Sora!
It's not darkness. Not if it helps him.
So I was in the middle of a thought, and then I was interrupted by Xemnas and Ansem, so that was nice. So yeah,
Here we go.
Sora has never received this amount of feedback before. where as soon as he learns something, we're able to think about it and try to process the information that's going on, rather than, like I said, he's just bumbling through the world trying to figure out what to even do next. Forget about the fact that he knows what he's trying to do in Kingdom Hearts 2. He has no clue, really, what he's trying to do in Kingdom Hearts 2. He's literally just running toward this big, arbitrary evil, right? It's like, oh, I have to defeat the Heartless, and then he's like, oh no, I can't fight Heartless because that's giving the Organization 13 the power that they want, and then it's like, oh well, you have to fight the Heartless because that's literally your freaking job. Think about what's going on now. He didn't have a clear direction. He had lost his powers, and he was trying to figure out what to do next. So he goes to Olympus to talk to Herc, and Hercules goes, well, I just wanted to do something with all my heart, and my power came back to me. So then Sora gets that level of insight from Hercules, and then all of a sudden they give him a gummy phone, these new clothes with the power to amplify his already inherent abilities. And now, it was always like Sora was alone, right? And just getting backup from friends. And now Sora's like part of a squad. He's got like intelligence. He's got data. He's got logs, and he's got soldiers. He's got soldiers on his side. Donald and Goofy aren't just like buddies helping him out anymore. They're his literal knights.
He said, with all my heart.
Hey, there, look. Emphasizing what I'm saying.
Okay, then all my heart it is. I'm getting Roxas out. Are you with me? Donald? Goofy?
You betcha!
I don't know what Ansem and Xemnas want, but I think we better tell the others to watch out.
Okay then, let's head back to town.
So I'm trying not to throw out a lot of speculation here, but I am just kind of thinking out loud. Alright, look at this. So now, they set it up so you have to fight your way into this area, and then you have to fight your way back out. That's just the way it is. And then I was talking before about that whole upward climb thing, where it's the constant theme of ascension. So after the whole upward climb thing is emphasized from the tutorials, we get this huge flat world with just hills and cliff sides to climb. And I'm considering the buildings in Twilight Town as the cliffside. It's really all... This is a small area, and it's supposed to be. This is just kind of like the main safe zone. I'm going into rage form because that thing was literally just pelting me and being very mean. Now, look at rage form, for example. This is the second time I've entered rage form, and this is very clear that Sora is using dark powers here. And what did he say before? It's not darkness if I use it to help Roxas. But this is darkness. This is exactly what the game tells you is darkness. This is the kind of stuff that Riku pulls off when he's doing all of his dark abilities in Dream Drop Distance. And this is also the kind of stuff that Terra pulls off when he is clearly the dark character in Dream Drop Distance. Like, he is all about the darkness. He even kind of accepts the darkness as not always being a bad thing. Wow, that thing just... go away. Just screw you. And I promise I am not going to spend a lot of time fighting the enemies here in this area again, because it is literally just distracting the crap out of me. And another thing too is that I keep getting cut off while I'm just kind of going through the world. And I guess that's poor planning on my part here. But at the same time, it's the way the game was designed, right? Like, you can't focus on one thing at a time. There's always many things going on all at once. So, that whole thing where Sora doesn't have direction, think about when they were producing this game as like video game developers, right? Think about Tetsuya Nomura as the game director and all the people at Square Enix working with him. Think about the fact that, alright, they obviously had this story at least figured out. Like, you can't just release fiction, right? You can't just release literature into the world and expect it to be a commercial property of, you know, you're gonna make money off of this. If you don't have a plan on where the story is going, if you're just kind of writing it as you go, then you're going to wind up with clearly what happened. And that mess of games that came out in between Chain of Memories and Dream Drop Distance, including Kingdom Hearts 2, was clearly an issue of planning, where the story is notoriously convoluted, but I think most of the convolution comes from how it's told and how everything is presented, because nothing is really cohesive. Like, there are a lot of people involved in what's going on, and there are a lot of different things going on with different characters' motivations overlapping with each other, different characters' intentions conflicting with others who are supposed to be allied with each other. It's not easy to write this stuff. It is not easy to write this stuff.
Huh? Wait, didn't he sell ice cream in Hollow Bastion?
That's right. But Uncle Scrooge here is what you might call a world traveler.
Cool. How are you, Uncle Scrooge?
Oh, hello, Sora. You're looking hale and hearty. I heard you were on another grand adventure with these two. I hope Donald isn't making a menace of himself.
Because that's exactly what he's doing.
Uncle Scrooge, what's that you were saying about a chef?
Oh, right. The chef of my bistro here wanted to show you his appreciation. So, he baked this for you.
What is it? Wow! Cake!
Cake!
The whole cake? It's for us? Huh?
Settle down. The chef wants you to know it's not a cake, but a tart of fruit.
Does?
Why keep it under my hat? May I introduce Little Chef?
Oh,
hey, Remy.
It's you!
Uncle Scrooge, you opened the bistro at Twilight Town.
Aye. It all started a little while
Aye.
ago when I was enjoying one of the best meals of my life. And when I asked to speak to the chef, I met this wee genius. As it turns out, he wanted to expand his culinary horizons. So I thought, that's an opportunity. And I financed the whole operation. Ooh, I think he wants to cook some more for you. Fetch some ingredients, especially anything unusual.
That'll be fun. Kinda like a scavenger hunt.
It's exactly
And
like
the
a
more
scavenger
the
hunt.
better. The mark of a truly great chef is creating masterpieces out of anything. You can start right here in town.
We'll do anything to try more of Little Chef's food.
That tart sure did look scrumptiously delicious.
Okay, the ingredient hunt is on.
So now, this is part of what I was talking about with the cuisine, and this is also coming into full circle with what I was talking about with how the mechanics all worked out. So now, I definitely see the storyline of this game as something that people thought of. By the way, I knew this was there too.
Yes!
And then was just kind of put off to the side as like, people who like this game will take the time to figure out what's going on. Oh boy! Let's just toss a bunch of random stuff in here and see what else they like. Bad ideas, right? So, Birth by Sleep was the first time that they really attempted to undo those wrongs, because this was the first mistake they made. Okay, so Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories came out, and everyone was like, "Oh wow, it's a new Kingdom Hearts game," and it was not. It was absolutely not a new Kingdom Hearts game. It was this weird card game. It was a card game. And you used the cards to swing the Keyblade, and you used the cards to cast spells, and the whole reason why the cards existed in the first place was because Sora was losing his memories, and needed the cards. He needed the cards to even remember how to fight. That was the whole point of that mechanic, and the mechanic was much more focused on than the story, I think, because then there's a lucky emblem here too, by the way. So I'm gonna wait for this video to end. Come back here quickly. And then, if anyone has ever actually played 358 over 2 days, you're going to be... You probably won't be surprised when I say that the mechanics of that game were so difficult to grasp and unnecessarily complicated. I mean, there's... Whoa! Can I attack the barrels, please? There's that reticle issue again, by the way. So now, each level that you gained, you had to put onto a grid. And then each ability that you gained, you had to place onto that grid. And as you gained levels and powered up your character, it was really more about getting more slots on your grid instead of actually, like, gaining experience and progressing through the game. So it was this weird thing where, like, you were motivated by the story of this game. Like, nobody knew who Roxas was in great detail when 358 over 2 days came out. And then not only did Roxas get a huge character exposition. Oi! So we learned all this stuff about Roxas. We learned all this stuff about the fact that not only is Roxas friends with Axel, but Axel's got his own backstory. Oh, wait a second. that means so do all of the other organization members. And then that really becomes, wait a second, who's this person Shion? Where did she come from? And then I think the story was lost because, I mean, I didn't even get through the game my first try. I had to go back. I think it was a few years later I eventually went back and was like, I'm going to figure this out because I want to know what's going on. I still didn't really figure it too much out, but at least I finished the game and got the story for what it was supposed to be. And I'll continue my little rant here after this cutscene, because I'm trying to tie into this bistro mechanic here.
Hey, guys!
Huh? Hayner! Olette!
Hey, boss. Done with the posters.
Huh?
Hey, good work, kids.
You guys work for Uncle Scrooge here at the bistro?
Scrooge
do we?
McNopoly.
He gave us a short job putting up these special posters. Mr. McDuck's hosting an open-air film festival
Oh,
in
well,
the
thank you
courtyard.
for reminding me to go
Cool,
back
huh?
to that, actually, because I forgot.
Oh, Sora. Hold your phone up to the poster.
Okay.
There, you've just downloaded a promo game for the film. You can try it later.
You can on this, Uncle Scrooge?
Of course, laddie. Provide a bit of entertainment and then give folks a nice, cozy place to relax. Like me bistro here. They'll all be happy and hungry and eager to spend their money.
That is a very, very good business model.
Uncle Scrooge.
Gorsh, he sure is canny. I always wondered how he keeps customers coming into his businesses over and over.
Oh yeah, I'm no business guy, but I sure wouldn't want to be one of Uncle Scrooge's competitors.
Seriously.
Oh, right. I need to warn you guys.
Why?
I need to warn
Well,
you guys.
those creepy crawly things might come back for more. So stay on your toes.
Sure. But don't we have you guys to take care of them for us?
You have to leave again?
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll definitely be back.
When you gonna slow down?
Sorry. Just do me a favor.
Well, what is it? Don't make it too tough.
I know how Roxas feels to be lost, but Donald and Goofy, Kyrie, brought me back by wishing with all their hearts. So, I was hoping the three of you would do the same and wish for Roxas.
What? That's it? That's no favor. We'll all wish. I'm wishing.
Yeah. Me and Pence too.
Thanks.
With all your hearts. I love how they're just there,
Aren't
watching.
you making it a little too obvious?
We were instructed to guide him.
Yes. Just look at them. They wouldn't get far if we did not spell it out. Huh. Fair enough. But let's not forget how many times Sora still managed to rain on our parade.
If he wavers from the path we lay, we destroy him.
But in that case, we'll have to find ourselves another vessel.
That is why we never have just one iron in the fire.
I like that line. Classic Kingdom. Not a fan of the double arrow guns, not gonna lie. Probably not even going to use it. So let me finish my thought here while I go get these last few lucky emblems I remember are here. But, the mechanics. Okay, so 358 over 2 days had a great story, and then the mechanics just made it so difficult to play the game. Guys, I never even played the other, what was it called? Recoded? Okay, so Recoded was like, apparently they kind of used the birth by sleep formula. And the birth by sleep formula, they did things right. The whole triangle command thing to replace the cards from Chain of Memories was fantastic. And then they introduced the form changes by charging up the triangle commands and using attacks and combos to change your abilities while you were in combat. So now, it seems whenever they put more emphasis on the mechanics of the game and developing that, it seems like the story kind of fell out. So the exact opposite is happening here with the bistro. They explain fully why the bistro is here, and it wasn't there in the last game. And that is simply because Uncle Scrooge bought the property. He bought the property. He put the movie theater over here. And then he's making money off people just doing what they do. Enjoying things. And now, I'm sure that Square Enix has made a ton of money off of making side games for different consoles, side games to the side games for different consoles, and then making the main games reference those side games so that everyone feels like they have to go back for stuff that they missed. And they're not wrong. That's what a lot of the dissonance in the Kingdom Hearts community is all about. Is that we want to enjoy the story, but we also want to enjoy the game at the same time. And before I just start ranting about my opinions on what Square Enix has done in the development process of this game, I'm just going to point out here, they did a lot right in this game. And as I go, I'm going to try to not dwell on the things that were done wrong. But there are things that were done wrong, and I'm upset about that. So I'm going to express my opinions. It's as simple as that. Now, the bistro mechanic here, you go in, right? You can check the menu here. I'll go in just to show you guys, but I'm not gonna bother with this at all. Wow! Oh boy! I cannot get a sentence out without not being able to breathe.
Is the food ready?
I'm having a rough night tonight, guys. You coming along for the ride? Because I gotta get work done.
Huh? Whoa, hold on. Hey! Oh no!
So now this is adorable for the story. This is great for the immersion, and this is such an inclusion that was so... They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do this. But they did. And each of these recipes has their own little thing, like some of the mini games they have you tapping the L button and then the R. So,
all right. We did it.
So now some of these mini games have you cracking eggs, some of these mini games have you chopping up fruit and vegetables. Some of these mini games have you like stir frying and adding spices and stuff. So you're gonna see that here. Like, there's the egg cracking, right? You gotta I don't even think I've done any of the ones with the fire on them. I don't remember them, at least. That's the chopping missions, and this is the spicing missions. So I see the egg and the spicing missions as the hardest. Because, oh, I remember this. This is kind of like, you're just kind of like pouring the wine into this. I don't know anything about cooking. I'm not even going to try to use the right words there. He's basically just like searing the meat with the wine and cooking it in the pan. And I don't know. It's like, if you want to play Cooking Mama while you're playing Kingdom Hearts, then sure, that's fun. And if you want to feel like Kingdom Hearts could also be a little similar to Monster Hunter when you go out and do mission by mission, but I'm gonna say that it's not like that at all. And so now, I'm sure that when you unlock the more high-level cuisine... When did I get Blizzard? They just gave me Blizzard? I'm gonna stick with the fire-water combo. And then they just give me this, too. Oh, because I leveled up. Alright, I like the fusion spin finisher. So now I'm gonna show you... Oh, wait a second, though. I'm gonna show you what I can see here on the screen, so I can try to make a point, but you're not really going to see exactly the point that I'm trying to make. And maybe I'll go on to my other save just so I can emphasize it more clearly if necessary. But now look, you can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can make a 5-course meal, and when you eat all 5 pieces, when you have all 5 pieces filled in, you get a bonus for that. And then each of the 5 pieces will emphasize a certain stat. And you see there, I'll get 12 MP, 2 MP and 12 HP bonus. Just for that dish. 12 points. Why on earth would I want to do that? It's like, if I want to use the buffs, then I have to remember to use the buffs every single time they run out. And when that happens, that also means that you need to pay attention to which buffs are useful for which situations. Blazing Gem, new. Writhing Gem, new. Wellspring Stone, new. Ooh, that means I can probably upgrade some Keyblade stuff here. I thought I got rid of that already. Hold on. Hey! Pfft. What new abilities here? Long story, long tangent, long just, I have no idea what I'm saying. Don't use the cuisine if you are a Kingdom Hearts fan and you know how the game works, because at the end of the day, the buffs that you get from your equipment, these are buffs, the buffs that you get from your equipment are enough to carry you through the game. You don't need the extra MP, HP at all. How'd I do with the lucky emblems? Which ones am I missing here? I can't even begin to tell you that I remember which ones are where, so I'm not even going to try. Okay, I definitely have been very pessimistic during this video, so I'm going to try to stop doing that right now. Just clear your brain of the bad vibes I've been giving out, because we're about to really start diving into the fun.